Hi everyone, thank you for watching today's video. I am ready to give my update on my 5-pan style rolling project pan that I have been doing so far this year in 2023. So just to quickly go over what it is, I am trying to work on 5 makeup products at a time that I'm trying to completely use up. And once I finish an item, I roll in another so that there are always 5 items going at the same time. So if you want to see my 3 previous videos to see what I have already used up so far in 2023, I will link that playlist below and I hope that you check it out. And without further ado, let's get into this month's updates. So the first couple products are all face and powder products. So the first update I have is from my Hourglass Ambient Lighting Trio. I'm trying to use up the middle shade. I used up the other 2 shades last year in my project pan, and so now I'm just working on this middle shade, and I've definitely expanded the pan from my last update. So I'm pretty excited about that. This I've just been kind of lightly dusting all over my face as a finishing powder, and then occasionally I'll use it as a highlight, and then I've been doing my brow bone highlight with it as well. So I think that's really helped expand the pan and kind of flatten it out so it's not quite as dome shaped anymore. So I definitely still think this is a product that might take me the rest of the year to pan, but I'm okay with that because I mean it's definitely slow but steady progress, but I like that I can see the progress, and I'm excited to say that I will have used up an entire face palette, which I've never done before. The next face powder product I have is my bronzer. It's the Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer in a mini version. And again, on this product, I also have really been able to expand the pan this last month. I was honestly kind of hoping that I would be able to finish this by summer, so like sometime in June. And I don't know, that might not be possible. There still is quite a bit left, but once I kind of hit this pan, I can see now how thin of a layer is really left. So I don't know, we'll see. But I've been really enjoying this. The color is a good bronzer color for me right now. I think it'll work in the summer as well if we get into that point. But yeah, so far really enjoying this and expanding the pan. So we will see how much progress we make in my next update. And my final face powder that I've been working on is my Catrice Mattifying Prime and Fine powder. I have the translucent shade 010, and here is what we are looking like. So I hit pan and then started to expand it so I've totally exposed this one ring and kind of working my way towards I can see the edge of the other one. So I'm pleased with how quickly I am using this so far because honestly, it is not my favorite powder. I like that it's translucent because there are definitely days where I don't need or want to add like a ton of extra coverage. But I do feel like when I put it on, I honestly don't feel like it's super mattifying. And there are times when I just keep thinking back to my Kosas powder that I panned in previous months and how that also helped create like a blurring effect almost. And I just find myself really missing that with this powder. So I know this is more affordable. However, you can only buy it on Amazon or the Catrice website at this point. So I definitely don't think it's worth going out of my way to find it again after I use this up. But based on the progress I made so far in the month of April, I'm hoping that I can finish this in May and kind of move on to some other powders because I'm not hate panning it, but I've discovered that and figured out that this is not my favorite powder and I don't want to add it back to my collection when it's gone. All right, so for the remaining 2 products in my project, one is an empty and one is a product that I just need to roll it out even though I did not completely finish it. So we'll get to that one in a minute, but first for the empty, it is the Catrice True Skin Concealer. I had it in the shade Warm Macadamia. I was able to scrape most of it out of the tube and put it in another pot container and then use that up this month. So I am really excited that I was able to finish the whole concealer. There actually was quite a bit of product in here. It kind of seemed like it was never ending. Let's see, it says you get 4.5 milliliters or 0.15 fluid ounces. And I enjoyed this concealer, but again, like I said about the powder, Catrice you can only buy on the Catrice website or I think on Amazon, and that's just not something that I really want to go out of my way to purchase. So while I did enjoy this, I don't think I would buy it again, and I will just move on to another concealer and trying out some different ones now that I've used this one completely up. So now that this one is gone, I need to replace it with something. So I have decided to roll in a foundation, because I don't think I said this in the beginning. I don't have any specific rules in this project pan that once I use up a concealer that I have to start panning another concealer. I just kind of go with what I feel, what I want to use, what's older in my collection. So because of that, I chose a foundation that I've had for a little while now, and it is the Bite Beauty Changemaker foundation. I also chose this because Bite Beauty obviously went out of business and you can no longer purchase this, so I would like to just use this product up and get it out of my collection and move on to things that are more current and that we can purchase from still. So I started using this maybe like 2 weeks ago. I'm wearing it today. It's an okay shade match. If anything, it might be a tad dark, but with the season changing and me spending more time outside, I think that actually might end up being okay for the next few months. I didn't think to weigh this when I started using it a couple weeks ago, but I did weigh it this morning and it is weighing in at 33 grams. So that's at least a starting point I can have now for tracking the progress next month when I do my update. It's kind of a like, I don't know if it's like a moussey texture. It's just a creamy, like it's not thick, it's not light. I don't know. It definitely has some coverage, but it kind of almost has the like airy whipped texture or something. So I don't really know how I feel about that, but I definitely feel like when I'm blending it in, I typically use a brush, but I might experiment with using a sponge with this in the next few weeks, because when I use a brush, I do feel like it does get a little like streaky at first, and then kind of once I like blend it out and then I kind of like stipple it, then it kind of evens and flattens itself out, so to speak. So for that reason, I don't think this is going to end up being like a favorite, which is fine because I can't purchase it again anyway. But I think that this will be fairly easy for me to use up. It says this is 1 fluid ounce, and it honestly felt like, I mean, I've only been using it for a few weeks, but it feels pretty light. And already when I've started squeezing it, I can tell that there's like quite a few air bubbles in here. So I don't know, we'll see how long this takes. I'm hoping just a few months, and then I can kind of move on to some of my drugstore foundations beyond this. So this is the new item that I'm rolling in to replace the concealer that I used up. Now the final item that I had been panning was the Buxom Plumping Lip Gloss in the shade Kimberly. And as you can see, I did make some progress on it from the last update. However, this definitely just started like, I mean, this is pretty old. I believe I have had this since like 2017, 2018. And after last update, as I was using it again, I started just feeling like the tingling sensation was like, it was too much. It was like actually hurting. And then there was one day I wore it, and when I went like throughout the day, I kind of started feeling like the skin like right around my lips was just like getting really sensitive and like burny feeling, like raw. And so I was like, okay, we're done with that. And then I had also seen, I think Sarah Rose Beauty talked about it. She was using a plumping gloss and was kind of like, after a while, she was like, it started like burning my throat and like itching my throat and stuff. And I was kind of like, you know what? I feel like I'm starting to experience that too. So definitely think this is by far expired. I mean, it definitely was since I've had it for like 5 years. But once I started reacting to it after a few months of use, I was kind of like, I'm done. So this I am calling good. I need to roll it out because I don't think it's like safe to use near my skin anymore. So I will be rolling in a new lip product. I still wanted to use another lip product, and I'm going to roll in my Color Whisper. Now I'm trying to remember, were these Maybelline? Yes. I'm gonna roll in my Color Whisper lipstick in the shade Lust for Blush. I loved these Color Whispers. I don't think they make them anymore, but I always really enjoyed them. It's just like a light wash of color. It's kind of like that balmy texture. So like, I feel like you don't even need a mirror to put on some of the lighter shades. But this one I thought would be really fun this is how much is left. It's a great color for this time of year, a really good everyday color that I feel comfortable wearing to my office job as well. And then I also want to try and use this as a cream blush as a way to get some multi-use out of it and use it up quicker. So this is where we're starting. I've probably used half of this since owning it, so there's really not that much to go, but I think it would be good to try and pan a lip product. I know this one is also an older one in my collection. So those are the 5 items that I'm working on. 3 are still going, 2 are new roll-ins, 1 from a finished product and 1 from an expired product. So let me know below if you're doing a project pan and what you've accomplished so far. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.